Hello, Serge here for the Backyard Driving Range. Alright, we have a couple in your own words that came in, and I want to read two of them because they both along the same subject and the same type of comments, and I think they're good comments and in effect stories, and they have a message to them. First one comes from Peter Seika. Peter says, "Wow, is all I have to say. I know that this isn't the proper place on your website to be leaving this, but it sure is. It got to me. It got to me. Just about any place that it comes, somehow it's going to get to me. I recently started watching the Surgeon videos on YouTube. I have tried on and off to play over the last 15 years, but with no success. I saw my first YouTube video and something clicked in the last 2 weeks. I have shaved 8 strokes off my game, and I'm managing to really enjoy this wonderful game. I've purchased the basic book. I now hit it 150 yards plus with decent consistency. Thank you and God bless." That was from Peter Seika. Now we got one that's a little bit longer, but it brings out a couple good points that I can address. This one comes from Gordon Steen, and Gordon says, "Hi Don, hope this message reaches you. Like I say, they usually get to me one way or another. I have been following your system along with your videos for a couple of years now. Following a major car accident, I have not been able to play to my old level. I was a scratch golfer. Now I struggle to play to 9 and suffer all sorts of aches and pains after a game. Not good. This morning I watched your video on no wrist break, and I decided I was going to give your system a real go today. I am lucky to have a range at home along with a 6,000 square foot synthetic green, so today I was going to spend some time adapting to the Surge swing. Hey, can I come and practice at your house? Well, I'd love to have one of those in my yard here, but I don't think my wife would ever let me because I certainly would have lights on it, and I certainly would be out there. She'd probably have to come out here with a gun and drag me in at night because I just love to, it's not so much I love to practice, but I really love to practice putting. I don't over practice my swing. I just feel like with all the years I've done it pretty well. I just don't do it that much, but the one thing I can never seem to satisfy myself is that to really putt good. So I love chipping. I love doing my short game because I don't usually ever hit really bad shots. So my shots are always in play, and therefore it's my short game, getting it up and down, that is the key to me shooting good scores. All right, so that putting green, I'd have a little rough around it, probably synthetic rough too, huh? You can do that these days, and I'd spend forever out there chipping, pitching, and putting. Oh, by the way, I'd have a sand trap there too. Okay, so anyways, off with that. Out to the practice range, I took out a wedge, and using the Peak Performance swing, I just peppered the flag 100 yards out. So you got a heck of a pretty big yard too. The same with my 6-iron that went arrow point over the 150 flag. And all this was effortless and without any pain for me, which was something new. So wow, you just right there in the very first time swinging, you're not feeling any pain. So it's obvious that even with your other swing, that Gordon was already feeling tension, stress, and strain, which leads to pain. All right, and that's not good. So now he's moved up to a 6-iron, 150 yard shots, and he's still not feeling any pain. Okay, I said now for the big test, my driver. And he took his driver out, which was custom built for him. First shot, effortlessly hit it dead straight, carrying it 250 yards uphill. Grass needed to be cut, so there was no rollout. My next few drives were almost as good, but the biggest thing was that I was hitting them straight. After that, I set up for a fade, a dare, and followed by a fade. And guess what? I achieved just what I was trying to do. In a nutshell, Serge, I was thrilled with my results. I'm playing a charity event tomorrow, and I intend to play 18 using your system to see how I can get on. The one thing I can say is that I sit here writing this several hours later, and I feel no pain, something I would have done after normal practice, meaning he'd still be feeling pain several hours after, maybe sometimes even days, and he wasn't feeling any. So I guess that's why we can definitely say this is the no pain swing. Now many other websites on the web have figured out that the success we're having with that moniker that we're the no pain swing, and no matter what, if you say no pain, you're still going to get to us. But some other ones are starting to creep into that list because some people are going to say, well, that's no pain. Well, this says there's no pain. I'll check that one out. And naturally, almost all of those other ones are not going to be nowhere near what the peak performance golf swing is. They're going to very likely be rotational. They may say they're no pain, but it won't take you long to go and try their theories and their methodology, and you'll see that you'll be feeling much more tension stress. And when you get tension stress, at least, and strain, it's going to lead to pain, and that's not good. And you won't get that with us. You lose it. You get rid of it. You can throw it in the trash and it won't be back, because swinging 3/4, limited turn, and vertical is the way our body's designed to move, the way our arms are designed to swing. Okay? So we got two good stories about how they found this swing, and they both are hitting the ball better very quickly. And again, as I've always said, it doesn't take, you won't ever hear a peak performance golf swing instructor say it's going to take you 3 months, 6 months, a year to learn this golf swing. You get better immediately. All our students get better. They leave the tee the first lesson swinging better and hitting the ball better, because it's the right way to do it. It's the way God created the world to set up and swing to play golf. The setup determines the motion, and the swing and the motion is the swing. And when you set up properly and you swing your arms vertical, in the catcher's mitten up the tree, in the catcher's mitten up the tree, the limited turn, the address would be to wide knees out with pressure, only wide enough where you're still flat on your feet, about shoulder wide. We'll always have the right foot directly under the right shoulder, the back shoulder, which would be the left shoulder for a lefty, and it's straight down over about the front part of the foot. This foot will be about the inside of the foot with the right foot in the same place. The right foot or the back foot never moves. It's always in the same place for every swing, which is about directly under the center of the shoulder. You can put a club, like I said, under your armpit right here, and it should be about there. If I've seen golfers where when they put the club down, it's like this, so their swing is too narrow, and if they try to get heavy right, their shoulders and their hips are outside their foot, they're going to lose their balance. And then conversely, if it's way too wide like this, you're now too wide, and when you start trying to get on it, you'd either be so far out of balance, you couldn't swing, or you would start swinging and it would push you into reverse tilt because your right leg would start straightening. But when you're in the right position here, the beauty about this position, if you're in the right position and you swing up, if you start turning too much, you'll start to lose your balance. So it's a great detriment to turning, because your balance mechanism is going to eventually start, limit your turn for you, so you don't start falling backwards. Your balance buddy's going to go to work for you. So we basically in here. So I go from about here for a sand wedge to about here with a driver, which at this point it'll be just slightly inside of my forward foot, my left knee, but it'll still always be straight, pretty much on my right foot, coming down somewhere around near my big toe. Okay, with the driver. So for us, for Surgites peak performance swingers, the stance that most people advocate, the width of stance that they advocate for a 5-iron is what we will be with about a driver. So we're narrower, we're saying about shoulder width. So even with a driver, when I load onto that right foot and I get up here and I'm in line, shoulder, hip, knee in line with the center of my foot right here, and the knee is flexed, stays flexed, it actually sits, gets it flexed a little bit more, because we're going to sit into it like throwing a baseball or a tennis player going up for serve. You're loading it, you're adding more stretch to the muscles, and you're here. And so now when you stretch and your muscle and you sit or sink a little bit into that right foot, it goes down. Now you can push off. If you're swinging and your back leg is straightening, how can you push off? Because as it straightens, it's actually pushing your weight off already, and you're going to be too far forward. So you got to get into this position here where you can sink into it and then push off and swing up, because when you're pushing off, that's helping you to swing up to the tee finish. So basically, in essence here, with these two dailies that came in, questions and comments in your own words from these guys, I've actually almost covered most of the major tenets of the setup and the swing in a very brief, succinct point. And naturally, other dailies, there's thousands of dailies in there. You can Google any of the things I've mentioned right here and get dailies that more specifically direct each one of those and cover those topics specifically. But again, it's all about swinging the way physics and physiology demands that a club be swung to hit a ball relatively straight. And we know that is a vertical swing, on, square and solid, accelerating and impact. And it was proved in the Search for the Perfect Golf Swing by Dr. Alistair Cochran, or shown. The scientists don't like to use the word proved. They like to say it shows, the results show this or that. And then David Peltz, the NASA physicist, he got into putting and chipping and short game, and on his putting test showed that the same thing had to happen in putting, which is mentioned in his book published in 1986 called Putting Like the Pros. So we got good scientific data and research by scientists backing us up. I only deal in science, truth, what actually is, what actually has to happen, and I'm the only one that's taken the physics, physiology, of the ball and the club, how the club has to be swung to hit the ball relatively straight, solid, with the club accelerating, and how the body sets up to swing that type of swing. I'm the only one that's taken the physics and the physiology and married them together. And that's why the PPGS swing works, because we're in harmony with physics and physiology, the way God created the world to turn, and the way you need it to set up and swing the club to hit the ball relatively straight, which is the best way to hit a golf ball, so you can shoot lower scores, hit the ball better, hit more fairways and greens, and shoot lower scores. And that's how you play golf better. The PPGS way. Okay? It works, without a doubt. Well, that's it for the Surge for today, with the help from our two writers that came in today, telling us their comments on how they're getting to the PPGS setup and swing has helped them shoot lower scores. That's it for today, and I'll be talking with you all again soon.